How y'all doing?
What was it, the immediate aftermath of the season? What did you do to get your body back? Did the season take a toll on you physically?
Oh yeah, it's like I say, it's football. It's definitely gonna take a toll on you, but you just got to do a good job of taking care of your body in the off season. So I think I did a pretty good job of that on our time off. So I'm excited to see how this year is gonna be.
What did your off-season routine look like?
Really, just me getting in the cold tub and hot tub and stuff, getting massages and certain things like that.
How are you feeling now?
Feeling good. Yeah, it's yeah.
How much did you go back and review this rookie game film and every carry, every game?
Oh, I definitely seen my tape and stuff, and I have a lot of things to just for myself to improve on. So that's something that I'm going to be working on a lot.
Can you give us a general idea?
Just like making people miss, breaking a little more tackles. That's one-on-ones and stuff like that.
It's a little different for you guys without Bobby Turner there this season. Do you still keep in contact with him?
Yeah, he definitely texts and stuff, but like I say, Coach Bobby T, he was awesome. So it sucks that he left.
What's it been like with Anthony Lynn now running that room?
We had a one-on-one meeting with him, and it went real good. He seems like a good coach and everything, so I'm excited to work with him, and I know he's going to do a good job with us.
Was he kind of new set of eyes, give you some feedback that you hadn't heard before? Was there what are those lines of communication like between you and Anthony?
Oh yeah, he definitely he just doing what a coach does, just telling you what you can work on more and stuff like that. So I'm excited to work with him and start the season.
Tell that he's a disciple of Bobby Turner's, that they used to work together?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, just the way he talks and what he was showing me and stuff is definitely he's going to do a very good job with us.
Did you get any off-season work in with Trey Lance before you guys came in last week? Or just what's his vibe like right now?
No, I have not got any work with Trey Lance this offseason.
Did your experience last year prompt you to change anything as far as your weight, how bulked up you want to be or don't want to be going into year two?
Yeah, like I say, I definitely want to put some more mass on, take those hits and stuff, and that's about it. And just I have certain things I need to work on, but really just put more mass on.
Is there a number in mind, like a weight that you want to get?
Around like 215, that's a good playing weight for me.
Right after the season, Jimmy Garoppolo said, you were playing hurt at the end. I believe that was the knee. How much did that hamper you in the playoffs?
Like I say, it definitely had a little effect on me, but also you out there and anybody's lives, you 100%. So either way it goes, you got to go out there and play.
Surgery on that. You didn't require surgery after the season?
Actually, I did. Yeah, I'm on it, yeah.
Was it a significant surgery?
No, not at all. No, just a little cleanup.
What are you looking forward to most this season?
Really, just to improve on everything, on things I need to work with, and really to just build on what I did last year, and just to become that perfect back.
Are you going to be ready 100% for your training camp?
Oh yeah, I definitely will.
What's that?
How's your golf?
I'm sorry. Who's asking? Oh, how's my golfing? Not good. I'm working on it.
Kind of opened the door. Has there been a lot of discussion about what's going on with Devo and just having gone through a contract extension a year ago, pretty similar situation? Can you kind of empathize with whatever he is going through at this point?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where like we all care so much about Debo, from players and coaches in front office. Everybody knows his value to the team, and I wouldn't say it's like much of a like discussion amongst teammates. Like, we all understand, like, when it's that part of the process, like, that player has to kind of go through it, and we're here to help. Like, people who've gone through are there to help him if he has questions or anything. But, like, he's a grown man. He's got to, go through that process, and we all got to respect that. And, that's the business side of the game. It's not just, there is a different part from just going on the field and playing football. There's a business side to it. So that's just kind of what his process is right now.
Has he reached out to you at all with any questions?
Not to me. I know he's probably talked to several of the other players. Just kind of bouncing ideas and stuff. But I'm here if he ever needs me.
Having been through it last year, did you go into it with the understanding that, hey, I might need to be patient here, and how difficult maybe was that to wait as long as you did?
Yeah, I'd say it's different for everyone. With me and guys, and probably the guy before me was George. I think we were in different situations because like the off season was so different because of COVID, right? Like with George there was no off season. With me it was kind of a mixed off season, and there was a patience part of it, and I kind of relied on my agent and the people upstairs to kind of get it done. And I was just my main job was to just work hard and get ready for the season.
Right, Deaver hasn't, spelled out exactly, what his issues are, but I'm sure just in contract talks, feelings can get hurt, as far as what your value is, how much you sacrifice to do your job. Did you ever have bruised feelings throughout the process last year?
Everybody's situation is different for sure. Speaking about my process, it was one of those things where it was just it takes time. There, like we just talked about, there's some patience involved in it. That's the side that a lot of people don't get to see, the business side of it, and sometimes some guys take longer than others. It's just your own process. I wouldn't say there's like a cookie cutter way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like speaking about my own process, I thought it was great. I thought both sides were professional, and we got it done whenever it got done.
How knowledgeable of the business side of the sport were you before you went through the negotiation, and how eye-opening is that process?
Well, you kind of learn as you go. I've learned as I've went throughout the league. When you come in as a little rookie, the only thing you're thinking about is like, well, shoot, let me figure out how to tie my laces up and go out there on the field and learn my plays. And then as you go, different thing, you start to learn different things about, obviously what happens when it comes time for contracts and stuff. And that's why you have great leadership, great veterans. I leaned on people like George and other veterans who've gone through it, and you kind of learn that way. And you lean on your agent. That's why or if you don't have an agent, you lean on just kind of what resources you have. So it's kind of, just stuff you learn as you go.
How open were the 49ers with you in the communication process?
I'm sorry?
How open were the 49ers with you in the communication process?
Very open. I think I think that's one of the best parts about our team, our organization. Kyle and John both stress it is, they have an open door, and wanting players to make sure, like, if there's any gray area, make sure you come talk to us about it. When I was going through that process, it was a very open conversation.
Together a weekend of the off-season program. Can you kind of describe what it's like around here? Is everything in person? Like, there's no virtual meetings or anything like that anymore?
I think there are some virtual for guys who might be different places, but for the most part, and a lot of guys are here. We're in person. I'd say it's fun. It's always fun this time of year just to have guys back, seeing each other. Getting after it out on the field and in the weight room together, and being in the meeting rooms together finally, instead of all virtual. So it's good.
Something specifically that you're working on this off-season?
I guess the cliche is always everything, but I think just a couple things. Every year you have kind of like a pro grow tape, get better tape with your coach, and some that me and Coach Holland have talked about is just working on my route recognition, play recognition, speeding the game up with my mind, and matching routes tighter so I can get more of those ops on the football. Always working on tracking for tackling to kind of be more efficient tackling wise, and obviously getting the ball back for the offense.
I think there's a little bit of a question mark at who's going to play nickel. I know we're very early in the off-season program, but does your mind go to, at any point during the spring, like, what I need to do to develop chemistry with somebody who could be there? Is there any on-field stuff like that going on in your head at this point?
I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't say I'm that. I wouldn't go in as in depth with that. I think the quick answer is who played nickel most recently is Darquez Denard. And I'm sure there's a lot of other young guys who they probably are penciling in to see who can compete for that position. But right now, we're in phase one of OTAs. Like, I'm not really. That's not my job to even to give out who the depth chart. So.
Is Trevor Sword here?
Yes, he is.
And what's your impression of him, and how do you see him?
He's great, very great. He fits right in. I think I like the way he works. He looks like he's in shape, and he's just eager to kind of get himself acclimated with the team, with the guys, and he fits right in. His personality, the way he works, I think he's going to be a great addition.
Did you know Lauren Burks before he got here, and what is he like to you?
Yeah, I did. We met at the Senior Bowl because we both came out in 2018. He got drafted right after me. We met at the Senior Bowl and at the Combine. We could tell that him and I were similar, and we became good friends at the Combine. And then I've kind of followed his career closely. Same with him, and so the fact that now we're on the same team is pretty cool.
How do you find yourself similar?
I think just I don't know. I guess just different personality traits with him and I, and we both love the game. We both play hard. We both work hard. I think he's going to be a great addition for us, especially on teams. He's been I remember every time we played Green Bay, Coach Hightower circling his name, his number, and being like, "This is the guy we got to stop every week." So I think he's going to be really good for us.
I think Kyle said that Javon is as healthy as he's been since he's been here. Do you see the same things from him, and does that show up in his personality and how he's kind of conducting himself, carrying himself?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with any player, when you're starting to feel more healthy and you're starting to feel yourself again, you start to have more energy. You start to have you could tell somebody's much more happy, much happier and more upbeat, and you could tell that's coming out in JK. I like just messing around with him every day, just doing little things to kind of either compete with him or just just kind of mess around with him and just seeing him. He looks like he is in the best shape he's been in, and he has his own protocol right now where they're making sure they're getting him ready for when he needs to be out there for us.
Right, you get paid extra to be a uniform model, and
Yeah, we won't discuss payments, but the jerseys are dope. Yeah, I like the extra stripe on the shoulder and kind of more of that old school look on the front and on the decals on the helmet too. So it'll be looking good. All right, guys.
Getting around great.
What's the?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
How are you getting around? How's the work going? How do you feel?
I feel great. I've been getting around great. I've been walking for a number of months now. Got cleared to play golf a couple months ago, so life's pretty good. Yeah, training has been awesome. I'm so thankful and grateful for the staff that we have here, our athletic training staff with Dustin Little and Manny Rivera and Laura McCabe and Mike Sola, and then Ryan Donnie, who is our rehab coordinator, and Ben Peterson, who runs the whole department. They took over the first couple months from, I think my surgery was on November 12th. And so they took over most of the first 3 or 4 months of rehab. And about 2 months ago, I got turned over to our strength and conditioning staff. And the plan that Dustin Perry and I and the rest of his staff over there have come up with has allowed me to start feeling really, really good again. I don't know if I'll be participating much in football activities this spring, but I have about 4 more months to get going, and I'm very pleased with the fact that I'm training full go. And so I just have 4 months to really hone it in and build strength and build conditioning back. And it's already well ahead of where it needed to be, and that's been very positive.
So you're optimistic about being ready for training camp?
Yes.
How about caddying and Tom?
We'll see. I don't know. I haven't heard back on that yet, so we'll see about that.
Mike, just to clear up that timeline, when you say 4 months.
Well, it's still training camp. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so what is it? I guess it's more like 3 months now that it's turning to May next week. But yeah, so the start of training camp, I guess I ballparked that wrong. Yeah, it's okay. No worries.
Was it the NFC Championship game you said, or no, I don't know, maybe in LA you said you were ahead of schedule. So how much further ahead of schedule are you than you had originally thought?
Well, I think I'm just around the 6 month mark, and I think that was kind of the ballpark of like getting cleared for activity, and I've been doing activities for just about 2 months now. So I'm feeling really good with where I'm at. My body feels great. Been able to train really hard and more continue to increase volume and load and all that kind of stuff as each week as it's gone on. The pain has subsided for the most part. Obviously still get a little sore from workouts here and there, but nothing that's not manageable, nothing that hasn't allowed me to train the next day, which is, knock on wood, has been a pretty good sign, and excited for where I'm at and excited for where I'm going to be in a couple months from now.
Mike, you've talked plenty about the mental challenges that you've gone through. What was this challenge like for you mentally in terms of kind of staying focused and getting through that?
Well, the staying focused part wasn't a problem. Obviously, when something like this happens to you in your career and the thing that, I guess is your lifeline, right? It's really easy to focus on getting that better, right? It's the only thing I have to do. That's my job. So the focus has never wavered. It definitely stunk. I mean, I've never missed football like that before. I missed like 2 or 3 weeks in 19 for the first time in my career, but I've never missed anything that put me out. And especially when your team's running through the NFC Championship game and have a chance to play in the Super Bowl, it definitely makes it hard on the psyche, right? You want to be out there, you want to be doing and contributing for your football team and with your friends and your teammates. But it's just learn a lot about patience. You learn how to take each day as it is and not look forward to anything other than what's right in front of you. And the only thing I can do throughout this whole process was control how hard and how focused I was each day on everything I did with rehab, whether it was, starting to walk again or, now that I'm, sprinting and running and squatting and all that kind of stuff. So it was hard to see, it's hard to miss time. It's really hard to not be able to do what you love for, 10 or 12 weeks, whatever they played after I got hurt. But at the same time, it's valuable because I've also never had the time to focus completely on every aspect of my training for 6 straight months and, what'll end up being 9-ish months before I hit training camp again. And so I'm excited to have the opportunity to, be in the best shape of my life going into training camp. And I think most guys will always tell you that when they're coming off a season-ending injury. But it really is the case because you don't do anything but train for months at end and eat right and focus on all that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm pumped to be back.
I think your injury was serious. Obviously, it could be career impacting or career threatening. Was that expressed to you initially, and at what point did you feel like you could maybe breathe a little?
I never had that conversation with anyone. Obviously, they tell you about all the risks. They tell you about things that happen with surgery, and but nobody ever told me or had the conversation with me like, "Hey, Mike, you're going to be. It's a whatever chance to come back and play again." Because that was just never an option. I wasn't going to let that happen. The staff wasn't going to let that happen. And if anything, it was a problem that I dealt with for a while. It wasn't just last season that this quad. It was years and years of playing football where I'm a tall, long guy and I bend a lot for my job and it takes a lot on your knees. And so if anything, it's going to help me on the back end of my career that I got a completely new, quad tendon instead of the one that I was, with tendonitis and all that kind of stuff that comes with playing offensive line. So I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be really hard to get back to the way I'm comfortable being an athlete. But I never once thought my career is over. That was never something that crossed my mind.
Is the injury at all similar to what Weston Richburg went through, and was he a resource for you at all?
Well, he's always a resource for me because he's a good friend and we talk still regularly. But I think he did tear his quad. No, I think he was patella. So it was a little different, and Weston had some other complications before that. So fortunately for me, everything else within my knee was totally fine and in great shape. So I only had to focus on the quad tendon versus, a multitude of other issues, which happens sometimes in surgery. So I was very fortunate in that regard. But yeah, he was a huge resource to me going through this. He called me right as soon as it happened, and always said, let me know if you ever need something, need to talk, need to go over what's going on in your plan. But our team did his rehab as well, and so they had a pretty good template of getting him back to play, and so it was something that was easily trusted for sure.
Mike, since you've been there for phase one, how much conversation in the locker room is there about Debo and his situation and just what he means to this team?
Well, I don't think there's much conversation with it at all. That Debo's business is his business. It's never something that players get into talking about other than congratulations after contract negotiations happen. I think any player in our locker room and any player across the league will tell you, do whatever you need to do. It's your livelihood. It's your family that you need to take care of. And so guys will never, ever speak to that. It's none of our business. But it's not a secret of what Debo means to our football team. He's one of our best players, if not our best player. And he deserves everything that's coming his way. But obviously it's between those guys and for them to figure it out. So we want him here. Obviously, all the players want him here. Everybody feels the same way. He's a teammate. He's a brother. He's somebody that we've competed hard with for me over 3 years now. But again, that's none of our business.
Having gone through a contract extension like that, how hard is it to be patient when your team and the 49ers are trying to work out something like that? Is it difficult? I mean, how open are they communication-wise?
I don't know. I haven't had a contract extension, so I don't know that. I got a fifth-year option picked up, but that's not a negotiation. That's just a yes or a no question. So I don't know. I don't know what it's like. I've spoken to teammates about it before, but it's a different situation. Everybody's is different. It all depends on what you're looking for, what kind of security you need, what kind of where you want to. I don't know. I truly don't know what all goes into contract negotiations. I know that Debo has an agent, I have an agent, and my philosophy is always let them do their job. And so I've always stayed out of contract negotiations. I've never once thought about it, and I don't know what really goes into it. So all I know is that you, no matter where you are, whether you're in this building or you're somewhere else in the country training, you just got to get up and go to work every single day, and the rest will take care of itself.
Have they indicated to you, Mike, that then this is kind of a prove-it year to see how you bounce back?
No, I don't think anybody's ever indicated a prove-it year, and you can't operate that way. That's just an unbelievable amount of pressure to put on yourself and to put on the team and to put on everything that's going on. In terms of myself, it's not in my control. I want to be here. I want to be a 49er. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be my decision. And the only thing that I can control is going out and playing. And right now just training, but going out and when the fall comes, going out and playing the best football that I can and let the chips fall as they may. Thanks, guys. Good to see everybody again.
Hey, faithful, don't forget to click here to subscribe to our YouTube.